Well, the pace of life just gets faster, more people, traffic, horrific crime reported. Everything costs more than you expect. All that doom and gloom. Well, it may seem hard to count your blessings and focus on the good things in life, but that's why we invited this guy to come talk to us this morning. Mike Robbins is the author of a new book called Focus on the Good Stuff, The Power of Appreciation. So, want to give us a few secrets? I mean, we do the news in the morning. There's a lot of bad things a lot of times. And so how do we keep from getting down by the bad things in the world?
Well, I mean, we can't ignore them. They're there, right? So my book is called Focus on the Good Stuff, not necessarily avoid the bad stuff. But the reality is there's so many good things happening all the time. I mean, for people watching this morning, just as they get up and go to work, if they paid attention on the way, they could see lots of good stuff. Or if they thought about the good stuff in their lives, there's so much for us to pay attention to.
Now, do there tend to be certain personalities that automatically tend to focus more on the negative than the positive, or can you change who you are and start focusing on the good stuff?
Well, some of us, I think, are just more naturally predisposed to be more optimistic, and some of us may come from families or environments. But there's many people who I've talked to in researching Focus on the Good Stuff that you can actually learn optimism and practice it. And one of the things that's in the book is that there are 5 principles, and with every principle, there's a bunch of different practices and techniques that people can use to actually practice focusing on the good stuff.
Well, give us a few of those principles here.
Well, one of them is, and I was just doing it right before the interview, is taking some time to make a list of things we're grateful for. So I was just thinking to myself, I'm really grateful to be on this show, to have written this book, to be healthy, to have a family that I love. And so if we make that kind of list or a gratitude journal regularly. Another thing that I talk to a lot of my corporate clients about is to, you start off meetings. A lot of times we get right into the negative stuff of the meeting. Just spend a couple minutes talking about what's good, what's going well. And then a third thing, and a lot of us will start to do this next month around Thanksgiving, is when you sit down for dinner with your family, have everybody go around and say something that they're grateful for.
If you're having a particularly bad day, is that a good thing to just stop and do right in the middle of the day?
Absolutely. There's another technique in the book that I call creating a sunshine file, where you put good stuff, someone writes you an email or a card, you put it in there. When you're having a really bad day, you pull that out and you look at it, which can put you in a much better mood.
All right. Well, now, are we really, as a world, as Americans perhaps, are we better off than we were or worse off? We tend to sometimes think we're worse off than they were 50 years ago. Is it a perception or a reality?
I think it is a lot of perception and how we look at things. The world is the way it is, and there are some challenges. I was in Houston back in the spring, actually, after I just spoken to a group for Chevron, and I got into a cab. It was the day of the Virginia Tech shooting. It was a really sad day. And the cab driver and I started talking, and he told me that he was from Ethiopia. And I asked him, I said, what do you think about this culture, given that you're not from here? And he said, Mike, to be honest, I think a lot of people in this culture act like spoiled brats. And I said, really? And he said, look, I'm from Ethiopia. Every day here's a good day.
Good point. So, all right. Well, you're going to do a book signing tonight. So if someone wants to come out and meet you and get your book, where do they go?
They go to Borders in Northtown, and we'll be there having some fun. I'll be talking for about 30 minutes. We'll do a couple exercises. People can get the book. I can sign it, and we'll talk about how to bring more good stuff into your life.
All right. Well, that's a positive start to the day. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. Mike Robbins.